You won't be able. You can't really tell. It's like a crowd. But when they had three of them, when it was the first three, was like it was Chuck Schumer and someone else.
Yeah.
They're saying the exact. Oh, Elizabeth Warren and someone else.
Yeah.
They're saying the exact same words.
Yeah.
In the exact same subjects in the exact same order. You guys are all reading off a script, and you're trying by putting the word shit in there to be authentic.
Well,
shit ain't right.
To be specifically authentic. They're like, we need to speak to working class people, to the kids.
Yeah.
And it is kind of like bigoted in a weird way where like, it feels like they're almost in a think tank like, hey, listen, these poor dummies, they like it when you curse.
Yeah.
So if you use a few curse words in your speech, they're going to really relate to you.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we actually need somebody disruptive. We need somebody on the left that might speak like that, but authentically speaks like that, and is willing to disrupt even what's happening on the left. Because if you look at like what happened with the Trump and the movement, like he disrupted the right. The right looks very different now than it did 5-10 years ago, right?
Definitely.
So I want like
a MAGA Democrat.
Yeah, like for real. Like and what is that? Like what do we at our baseline want, right? We like abundance. Tell me how great America is going to be in your version of it.
You want a Bill Clinton.
Talk that shit. Mm-hmm. Like come out talking shit. Bernie was talking shit, and I want you to come out, and if Trump can say we're going to take Greenland, there can be some Dem that goes $1 eggs and straight up says we're going to subsidize it.
How would you do that? You subsidize it?
Subsidize corn, you subsidize dairy, you subsidize everything. Like, why can we not subsidize it? But say something that's actually going to impact people. Now, Trump's not going to take Greenland, so maybe you don't get the $1 eggs, but you get this messaging across that you're actually trying to help people, and you're going to have to deal with those lobbies that are bankrolling you. And that might piss them the fuck off, but that's the disruption we need for us to trust you.
You know what they really should do?
What's that?
They really should have a strategic plan. If we're spending $350 billion went to Ukraine. What was the number? What are they saying it was? I don't know what the number is. Some insane. Let's just be conservative and say $200 billion. Imagine if we spent $200 billion in the United States in all of the crime-ridden cities of the country, just completely overhauling them.
All right. So here's my concern about that: is how much did they spend in California on homelessness?
$24 billion.
And then like nothing changed, right?
No, they got worse.
Oh,
they did a good job.
Oh, awesome.
They did a good job.
So maybe we could spend $36 billion. You know, like so. There's also this idea that like the current administration in these places, even with an abundance of money, is not going to make change. So you need somebody from inside, from the left, to go, hey, these people are corrupt. On my team, we're going to root out that corruption, but we are going to take care of homelessness. We are going to make eggs cheaper. We are going to build fucking 10,000 affordable housing units so that the price of, your rent can go way down. There has to be something disruptive instead of, hey, let's just go back to normal. Let's not ruffle any feathers.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I reject the idea, though, that progress can't be had just because people have been corrupt and they've abused money before. I feel like you could farm it off to private corporations the same way we did with Halliburton during the Iraq War. What did they do with Halliburton? Got no bid contracts to rebuild Iraq.
Yep.
And they did it. They actually built all they built power plants they didn't need. There's like a lot of waste and weird shit that went on over there.
Yeah.
You could do that with the inner cities.
But
you could have
You're saying
contracts.
Halliburton did a good job?
No.
Oh.
Well, I'm just saying, like, they actually did get paid to rebuild cities, so you can get a private sector that would actually make money. It would become an industry.
Iraq.
Instead of it being bureaucracy.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying? Like, instead of it being something where it's like California, they're taking the homelessness, where nothing gets done, but money keeps pumping into it.
Yeah.
No, the only way you get paid is based on results.
Ooh.
So you have a contract with incentives based on results.
Yes. And
So
that is the problem. There is no...
You have to lower crime. You have to lower crime. You have to lower juvenile detention rates. You have to improve education scores. You have to make food, healthy food, far more accessible. It would be very easy to open up enormous food pantries in the inner city and finance it in comparison to the amount of money we spend on other countries doing transgender monkey studies, or whatever the fuck we do. Because the stuff they do is nuts. Like $20 million to Sesame Street in Iraq. Like it's bananas.
Yeah.
So just if you got enough money for that,
Yeah.
you've got enough money to set up food banks in every fucking city
Yes.
where poor people can get nutritious food.
Yes.
Just sign on, have a driver's license, whatever the fuck you need to get your food.
And what are the downstream effects of that? Like, you have way less health issues, which takes down the cost of health care. This is...
Well, also, people aren't desperate because you can actually always eat, which is a real problem with some people in this country, right? What's this about, Jamie? What are you pulling this up for?
They didn't do a very good job, apparently.
Oh, well, I'm sure they probably... Well, I said they did do corruption, and there was some waste, right? Because I was talking about these power plants they built that didn't matter. But the point is, it was a business.
Yeah.
So you got businesses involved, and they went in, and they got contracts to do things.
Yeah.
If you got contracts to re-engineer these communities slowly over time.
Yeah.
You'd have to do it where it didn't shock the community, but
Yeah.
slowly over time. Unfortunately, you would have to ramp up the law enforcement because there's going to be resistance. If you're going to go to the south side of Chicago and try to clean it up, you got gangs in there shooting each other every weekend. You got real fucking problems.
Have you
But what's the alternative? Let that keep going on forever?
No, you can't.
So you have to rip the Band-Aid off.